13 months of subscriptions from Keisha. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. I haven't tuned into stream in a while. I really don't be streaming that much these days, honestly. I think I might actually have carpal tunnel. I'm thinking about getting it looked at. Because I think I might actually have nerve damage or something, but we'll see. But in the meantime, I got this wrist brace to kind of help, because yeah, it's been kind of rough. So, but I just been thugging it out. I've actually is a cart named Al in the tunnel. All right, bro. That was really your whole thing. That was the best you had.
Nothing amazing happens here. Everything is ordinary.
Yo, Darlington, thank you for the 11 months. I greatly appreciate it. Better to check it out sooner than later, for real. Yeah, I've honestly been neglecting it for a while. But I haven't been able to work out the way that I want to because my wrist has been hurting too much. So I was like, okay, at the very least, let me get a wrist brace, and I'll probably get it checked out. Alan definitely keeps getting passes, and I think people need to realize maybe he's not him anymore. It's not even a matter of like, I don't think he's not a good quarterback, but like that was definitely a really bad performance. And like, don't get me wrong, he's also getting a lot of criticism, rightfully so. I've just seen support for him and like none for CJ, and it's like they both should be getting treated equally, in my opinion. Josh Allen, generally speaking, is a better quarterback than CJ Stroud, but like that's all the more reason why the expectations for him should be even higher. And he performed just as poorly. That was easily the worst performance I've seen him have in the playoffs. I honestly thought that this could be the Bills' year. No Patrick Mahomes to stop him. I thought he might have it. No. Also, man, my fucking Bears. My Bears. They let me down today, man. Caleb Williams had that insane fucking play to send us to overtime, and then he was him for about 5 minutes in that overtime, and then that interception. I didn't know you followed football. I don't actually watch during the regular season. I listen to podcasts and watch videos and shit. I be seeing highlights and stuff. And then last couple of years, I've been tuning in for the playoffs. This is honestly the closest I've followed it, because I'm really not a football guy, but I used to be a Bears fan as a kid because my dad was a Bears fan because his favorite player was Walter Payton growing up. And so I became a Bears fan. Devin Hester is my GOAT. Matter of fact, I got a Devin Hester jersey. I got a couple Devin Hester jerseys actually in the closet. But yeah, Bears have been asked most of my life. They had a couple seasons where they were solid. They've been asked for a while now. And I like basketball way more, so I really wasn't like keeping up with shit. But they were pretty good this season, so I would low-key keep my ear to the streets. So that they got to the playoffs, I was like, oh, I'm tapped in. And yeah, man, it is what it is. Yo, by the way, like I'm seeing more support and like pity for Josh Allen than Bo Nix, which like, so you're telling me the nigga who is the younger quarterback with the lower expectations outplayed this MVP caliber nigga, right? Who's in his fucking 40th year. I don't know how old Josh Allen is, but you know what I'm saying, outplayed this nigga, outdueled him straight up, and broke his ankle at the end of the game and doesn't get to play in the championship game, not the Super Bowl, but you know, that's the we not like, what? If you're supposed to feel sorry for anybody, it's Bo Nix. Went out there, left it all on the field, got his team the victory, outplayed somebody who was, in theory, on paper, far beyond his tax bracket, and now he don't even get to show up for the next game. Like, that's the nigga everybody should feel sorry for. For whatever reason, people ride Allen's dick so hard. I mean, I've seen it. Particularly, like, it's unfortunate because, like, I have no reason to dislike Josh Allen. Like I said, I really don't even follow football that closely. But again, like, I because I consume so much basketball content, a lot of niggas who follow and, you know, watch basketball and shit also watch football, right? So a lot of the sports channels and people and podcasts stuff I listen to, they discuss football as well. Sometimes I tune in, sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. And also, you know, I see a lot of shit on Twitter. And it's a shame because, like, it feels like half the niggas who support Josh Allen hate Lamar more than they like Josh. And so it becomes one of those like race war things where it's like, y'all make me want to root against the nigga just cause y'all are racist. You know what I'm saying? It's like I ain't even got no problem with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't even watch football like that. But y'all make me pray on that nigga downfall just cause. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Caitlin Clark and fucking Angel Reese shit, which granted I love both of them and I follow them more closer than I follow anyone in the NFL, right? But it's just one of the things where it's just like y'all just like the peanut gallery make this shit so exhausting and annoying. It's just like, yo, shut the fuck up. But yeah, I see crazy dick riding for Josh Allen all the time. Like he might be the most glazed player I see, like online, outside of I guess maybe Patrick Mahomes, but like Patrick Mahomes is like significantly more proven and has kind of earned it. So like it's like fair. If Allen was black, he wouldn't get the praise he does 100%. Hey, you said it, not me. Cause didn't Josh Allen win MVP not last season, but the season before? Even though Lamar, well, was it last season or the season before? My timelines are all fucked up. Even though Lamar, my understanding, had a significantly better season, but that was last season. Yeah, so it's just like, all right, bro, whatever. Also, yeah, Angel Reese shoe at Reebok is dope. It's really dope. I don't own a pair, but it's really cool. Um, Allen's like a sheltered kid. Yeah, Allen's MVP was a DEI MVP. It's like when Joel Embiid won over Jokic. It's like, here, nigga, down. Like, here, fuck. I guess, bro. That's MVP. Hey, man, my girlfriend cheated on me. My best friend, I'm assuming that means, hung himself. And my dad called me a disappointment in the span of 2 weeks. I don't know what to do right now. Trauma dumping in Twitch chat, probably not among the first things I would do in that situation. That's just me, though. I'm not a therapist. This shit probably not true, but in the event that it is, hey, I'm sorry to hear that. I wish you the best. I can't do nothing for you, Playboy. Also, bro, I found this song through Twitter, and then I'm gonna run it back. This is a song by some relatively new artist that I had never heard of until like a day or two ago. Her name is Earthsign Shells or Shells. I'm assuming it's like Shells, like short for Chelsea. Earthsign Chelsea. Um, I saw like the music video for this like getting passed around on Twitter, and like I watched it and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. It's a quirky little video. The song I actually really liked though, but I saw it getting like a lot of hate because it was from like the Nicki Minaj stands, the Barbs, as it were. They were like slandering this girl and like hating on her like heavy because they were just like another Nicki clone. Everybody want to be Nicki. They just like just dick sucking the fuck out of Nicki Minaj. And like I watched the video and listened to the song and I'm like, this just doesn't sound like Nicki to me, like at all, like at all. But maybe I'm just tripping. And I say this as somebody who like I used to be a relatively decent Nicki Minaj fan. Like I think Nicki Minaj is very far past her prime at this point, to say the least. But back in the day, you know what I'm saying, I actually really fucked with her and her music. But this song to me does not give Nicki at all. But I see Nicki fans like on Shorty's head top over this song. But y'all let me know what y'all think. So yeah, that was the song, right? I'm like, yeah, that shit fire. I like that. Truth be told, that song better than anything Nicki done dropped in like at least a decade. That's just me. It sounds more like Dej Loaf than Nicki. Yeah, like yeah, her voice does kind of sound like Dej Loaf. I could hear Doja Cat. Which a lot of niggas is gonna say Doja Cat's a Nicki Minaj clone. Which, like, the thing is, like, it's not even about whether or not, because like Nicki has clearly had significant impact and influence on pop culture and hip hop, and especially female artists. I don't want to take away what she has accomplished and what she has done in her career, because it's not even about hating on Nicki. It's more so just one of those things where I feel like she's over glorified by a lot of her fans, and like anyone who even remotely does anything at all somewhat similar to what she's done is just like, oh, Nicki clone, Nicki clone, Nicki clone. When it's like, it's people that paved the way for Nicki Minaj as well. Like, don't get me wrong, especially at the time, there weren't a whole lot of people doing it like her, doing things that she was doing, especially when it comes to the female wave with hip hop. Like, she definitely paved the way for a lot of people. You probably don't have Meg Thee Stallion and fucking Cardi B and so many of these other artists succeeding or existing in the space like they do if it's not for Nicki coming before them. But with that being said, just because somebody has a somewhat unorthodox voice or has some sort of inflection in their flow, or God forbid they ever wear a wig or do anything that's not just, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, Nicki clone, Nicki clone. It's like, bro, Nicki Minaj did not invent wearing wigs or like adding vocal inflections to her performances. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, I don't know. To me, like, I think it's a hellified reach to say this girl is like copying Nicki on this song. That's just me though, but it is what it is. Are you playing with Balvin or Dion tonight, or will it be a solo stream? I have no clue what Balvin and Dion are doing, so I don't even know what you're referring to. Yeah, even Doechii. Like, I'd hear Doechii in that song before I hear what you mean, Dej Loaf, Dej Loaf, Dej Loaf, whatever, man. Yeah, I hear Doechii more than I hear Nicki on that, to my ear. When we doing another music battle, for the freestyle, fuck nigga. I almost said some shit. He's pronouncing it mad weird. Dej Loaf. I've heard it both ways. Like, doesn't really matter. Why niggas on my dick, huh? Why niggas on my dick? I know Lotus suck on the mic. It almost sound like a bitch nigga in my chat was talking to me. I don't know though. Leviosa. Face ass, yeah. Kind of warm me here.
Nothing amazing.
Yo, my dog Rambler, thank you for the 70 months. Tier 3, in for 2 seconds before bed. Got to get up at 4 a.m. to start the drive down to Philly. Once my wife gets on her 7 a.m. flight, I'm taking the cat. Hey, good luck with all of that, homie. Thank you for stopping by. Greatly appreciate it. So what's good, Tunda? What you on tonight? Also, chat. I can't talk about it too much. I know I haven't been very productive on my side when it comes to streaming and YouTube and everything lately. Y'all been seeing like very little of me. There are reasons for that we're not going to get into right now. I mean, we've kind of spoken on some of it anyway. But also, I do want you to know that at least for the last couple of weeks, and especially like this past week, I have been working pretty hard on some stuff that you guys, I'm sure, are going to love. And I'm excited to share it with you all. I can't talk too much about it now, but just know things are in motion in the background. I've been doing some stuff for Squad in particular, like, you know, our group channel and everything like that. And there are some things within the next couple of months that you should start seeing that I think are going to be really cool. Gonna give you shit and say shame the Bears game didn't work out, but at least the Lakers are on, but they came back, so it's a real game now. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even have the Lakers game pulled up. I'm so tired of that team right now. Let me pull it up on one of my other monitors. I honestly have not watched a single second of the Lakers game tonight. We got our fucking backs blown out last night by Portland, wasn't it? Yeah, by Portland. So I'm like, you know what, bro? I don't even care what y'all got going on. Is Luka playing tonight? He is, and he's actually 5 of 10 from 3. Hold on now. Fucking Marcus Smart was our leading scorer last night. I'm like, all right, bro. Like niggas getting done in by Denny Avdia and fucking Donovan Clingan and shit. I'm like, fuck out of my face. I guess I'll turn this game on though. Yeah, shout out the Bears though. Shout out the Bears. My nigga Caleb Williams with one of the most insane throws I've ever seen in my entire life. And Luka bricks a 3 as soon as I open up the game. All right. So Van, Ram, tell me you niggas seen the Hypeland Digimon collab. Tell me you niggas seen the teaser for the Hypeland Digimon shit with the fucking Greymon jacket, because that shit is tough. On the dev team for DBFZ2 confirmed. Fuck no, baby. I would never want to do some shit like that. He said he doing it for the squad, for the gang. I'd be tired too if my team lost to Charlotte. Hey, don't sleep on the Hornets. The Hornets have been playing much better basketball. Matter of fact, they just beat the Nuggets tonight. The Hornets are on the come up. Next season, I expect them to be a competent, respectable team. Not great, but like I expect them to be at minimum a play-in team, and they might be able to even make the play-in before this season ends. They've got a lot of catching up to do, but I think they've been playing much better basketball of late. They're a really fun team right now. LaMelo's been kind of up and down. Overall, and remember, they're still really young too, but their core of LaMelo, Brandon Miller, and Con Knipple, I think there's real promise there. If they were to, even though Miles Bridges is good for them, I think they could upgrade from that position. And once they find a real center, like obviously Ryan Kalkbrenner and Moussa Diabate have been serviceable, but I think if they could find their real center of the future, whether that is buying in on Kalkbrenner or Diabate or trading for a piece, I think the Hornets really got something good going on over there. I've been really enjoying watching that team lately. The Digimon Highland drop finna go crazy. Facts. Yo, K-Dog on Murder, what's good? I didn't say I got my backs blown out, or did I? I might have said we. Lakers got their backs blown out by the fucking Trailblazers. Yo, chat just be letting you get away with this. I mean, I do what I want. This is my house. Y'all benches some of the most egregious shit I've ever seen. Nigga, we played, it might have been the Portland game. It was either the Portland game or it was the Hornets game. Or was it? It was one of like the last 2 or 3 games we played. We had like 9 points off the bench compared to like 50 from the other team or some shit. We have no fucking depth. Granted, we are dealing with injuries because, you know, like Rui was missing time and, you know, Austin is still out. So, you know, there are players like Rui or Jake LaRavia, and others. And there are players that are starting for us that should be coming off the bench. Like Marcus Smart probably shouldn't be starting for us. Jake LaRavia probably shouldn't be starting for us. Rui is like, sometimes he starts, sometimes he doesn't. So we have players that like can give us production, but like they're starting for us. And so it's like our bench isn't that deep to begin with. So when you're moving the bench players to the starting roles, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Gabe Vincent gives us nothing. Jarrett Vanderbilt is a nothing on offense. He might be matter of fact, he's a negative on offense. Jackson Hayes is, you know, whatever. And DeAndre Ayton has been, man, look, I could talk all day long about the problems the Lakers got going on. It's all bad. It's all bad. And even Luka, for as great as he is, has not been what you wanted to be. It's the shot selection, the efficiency. He's one of the worst defenders I've ever seen. The complaining to the refs, the foul grifting. Luka's been a tough watch lately. He's still putting up the numbers. Like he's still, you know, stuffing the stat sheet, but it's like, I don't want to say it's empty calories because I don't really necessarily believe in that, but like his impact has not been felt the same way it normally does for his, you know, for who he is as a player. Also, yeah, I see Martyr got the link for the Digimon shit. Appreciate you. It's gonna be the first Hypeland collection where I try and get almost everything. Oh, I already know you about to go crazy. I don't really know. It's been a while since I picked up anything from Hypeland, to be honest. But I don't know. I might have to grab some stuff because, like, how often do we get Digimon? You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of shocked. I will say this: they put Vmon on some shit, I got a cop. They put Vmon on a T-shirt or a hoodie or let alone a skate deck, I need that. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I've been trying to I want to start incorporating more color into my wardrobe. I buy so many like neutral colors and earth tones and black, white, and gray. I mean, shit, I'm wearing all black right now. But like, I don't have that much color, and like sometimes, cause like that's what I prefer wearing is like muted colors, neutral tones and shit like that. But sometimes you want to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I want to pop out with a little whatever, you dig. And I really don't have that much color in my wardrobe, so I want to start buying some pieces that are just brighter and just kind of more out there, just to have the variety. So that Greymon jacket is a piece I'm like, I'm saying I wouldn't mind copping that. So quick to buy something that's black or gray, bro. Like if I showed y'all a picture of my closet upstairs, where like most of my hoodies and jackets are, it's like 80% like black jackets and hoodies. And then it's like 10% like gray, you know what I'm saying? And then there's a few things thrown in there.
Nothing
Yo, Radio
amazing
Fresh, thank you for
happens
68 months,
here.
and I really appreciate that.
Everything is ordinary.
You've heard of them? What do you think? The Lisa Labs Pokemon North Face jackets? Yeah, I've seen those. They're dope. I mean, I don't like all of them, but there's some cool ones in there. Been trying to actively avoid getting another black shirt. Bro, I have so many black t-shirts and hoodies. And most of the shit I buy from Hypeland, I usually buy in black because that's just what I default to. But I gotta start getting more colors. If I could have my Twitch screen name as a color black, I would. I probably would too, honestly. But yeah, I had my eyes on some pieces recently that I'm not pulling the trigger on, but I'm tempted. Also, this shit is telling me that I have a message from someone, but when I go to the... Hold on, let me check something. With that jacket though, would you just wear a black shirt and pants underneath? I think you could do like dark brown pants and a blue shirt, but I don't know, I've been losing weight, so I'm trying to step up my fashion game this year. So for me, with that Hypeland jacket, what's the first fit that comes to mind? Hold on, let me look back at it. Look back at it. First fit that comes to mind for me would probably be something, because with a piece that loud, I normally don't want the rest of the fit to be dumb loud. Here, let me show you what we're looking at, by the way. This is the jacket in question, in case y'all haven't seen. Hypeland is dropping a... Where'd I go? Bong. Hypeland is dropping... Wait, don't I have... There we go. Hypeland is dropping a Digimon collection. Oh, wait, I didn't realize how soon it is. They're dropping this like next week. No, that's literally next week. So next week they're dropping a Digimon collection, and this is a Greymon inspired like puffer coat. You know what's funny? I actually have the Hypeland Naruto. Here, I'll show you. Let me see if I can find it. They had a Naruto puffer coat. So I wish I had the Akatsuki one. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of this, but they were literally giving these away. So I have this one, right? I've never worn it. But they dropped this at some point, and this was like a $200 coat, because that's usually about the price for their puffers, which is not like super cheap, but it's not like crazy expensive either. So this is cool. It's not even something I would normally buy, but they were literally giving these away. You just had to pay for shipping. Like the coat was literally free. You just paid shipping, which was like $10. So I essentially paid $10 for this. So I was like, for $10, fuck it. It's a novelty piece. I put it in the closet. But I have this, and I also have the Hunter x Hunter. Let me see if I can find it. I also have the Hunter x Hunter, the colorful one, puffer that they dropped. This joint, which I actually think this one is way more fire. If I could, if the page would load. If the page would load, that would be nice. This is an eBay listing for it. Okay, whatever. Oh wait, no, never mind. I can't show you that. Hold on. Can I just get like a regular picture? I hate the way Google works now. Anyway, so I also have this. I've never worn this either. Like I have it, and both these coats are still brand new with the tags on them. This one I actually think is super, super dope. Like I can see myself rocking this, you know, whatever. It don't really be that cold most of the time where I live. It's been cold enough to rock this lately, but I ain't been nowhere where I want to put this on. Because this is the type of piece where like I probably would only wear it to like a tournament or a convention or like if I was hanging out with some of my YouTube Twitch niggas, you know what I'm saying? This isn't really, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm going like on a date with Eunice, or I don't know, I'm going, you know what I'm saying? This isn't the type of piece that like I would wear as like normally, like it'd be like in specific, you know what I'm saying, like situations or whatever. So I've just never really worn it. But I got that too. I actually really like this. Anyway, going back to what we was talking about with the Digimon joint. First fit that comes to mind for this joint is I probably would rock this with just a white t-shirt and probably just some blue jeans. Really any color jeans. There's any color denim, dark denim, light denim, any kind of wash of blue. And then the first pair of kicks that comes to mind for me would be like the royal blue Jordan 1s. That's the first thing that comes to mind to me. Now if I were to give it more thought, how could you really, a brown t-shirt I probably wouldn't go with unless it was like a, maybe like a cream or off-white or like a tan t-shirt, but like a chocolate brown I probably wouldn't rock with this, with that jacket. That's just me though. But if you were to do like a off-white or a cream or eggshell or like a tan, I could see you like rocking that. And then like darker denim like what he's got on. And then I don't know, it could be like, I'm trying to think of shit that's in my closet. I got like this vegetable leather pair of like old school, like Vans old schools. What else? You could rock like maybe like the Union Chicago Shadow Jordan 1s, the regular Shadow Jordan 1s. You might even be able to swing a fit with these with the handcrafted. I'd have to workshop it. Shit, what else we got around? Midnight Navy Jordan 1s, maybe it depends, or the Obsidian joints. True Blue 3s with that could work. True Blue 3s are red, white, and blue, but you might hide the red enough for it to work with that. I think, see, a lot of my shit is like I got like immediate eye contact with. Yeah, the Naruto jacket is a whole art piece now. It's cool. It was good, Squire. You could do like brown pants, right? You could do like muted tie from Digimon Fit, basically with denim and a plain tee. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Like if you had like some brown cargos or like denim or whatever with this and a white t-shirt, and then yeah, I can see you rocking that. I can see how you can make that work for sure. I don't own enough Jordans for a big versatility situation there. I mean, it ain't got to be Jordans. It's just most of my collection is Jordans, so it's the first thing I start thinking of. What are some of the non-J's I got? Like I said, some Vans I could rock with that. I wonder. Nah, that's too orange. I was gonna say. I wonder if you could get away with like the taxi joints I got, but those are probably too yellow to go with that. If it's like if you wanted it to match. This is another thing too. Shit ain't necessarily got to match either. Like color theory is the thing. The colors ain't got to be the same. You can rock some shit that's completely different and make it work as long as you finessing. Here, I'm gonna grab some shoes for my collection. And I'm gonna show you guys like the first pairs that like come to my mind of what I would probably rock with a jacket like that. So hold on, let me turn some music back on. Y'all fucking with that new Rocky? Oh, so what's good, Captain? Those, I think that'd be a dope little, you know what I'm saying? Little combo. I think you might even be able to get away with some union joints. Like, I know it's red, but I had like this. I can't like pitch you the vision in my head, but in my head I see the vision. So that could be a possibility. You also got something you can go like this pair of 11s with it. These are the Win Like 82 Obsidian and blue. I feel like these could go well with it with the right fit. Maybe like a lighter wash denim with these or darker. I don't know. Either way. Yeah, because with the white tee, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could see it. I could see it. I got a couple of Vans I can see myself wearing with it. You know, I probably got some Dunks I could wear with it too. I just honestly, I started to dig through my closet and I was like, I don't feel like, cause it be shit stacked up, and then it's like, I gotta take all these boxes out and put it one in, and I'm gonna have to put it back, and I just, but I'd wear it fit with that coat. The coat itself is a statement piece, so I'll probably wear some basic trainers. You know, I feel you on that. Like I'm usually the same way. Like if I have a piece that loud and vibrant that stands out, I usually let the rest of the fit be pretty basic in comparison. I mean, I'm always gonna have a fly pair of shoes, but you know what I'm saying. So happy this collab is finally dropping. It's been over a year since the 2 shirts that dropped at PAXun. It dropped Digimon shirts at PAXun? That's news to me. Also, this is my favorite song off the Rocky album. I think it's the best song on it. Jessica Pratt is honestly my favorite feature on the whole project. Also, yeah, Digimon always gets like the short end of the stick. I feel like the IP doesn't get pushed by Bandai as much as it probably should. This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. Something that I don't see enough, Byakugan. Does nobody fuck with Byakugan? I see Sharingan stuff all the time, but like, I don't know, the Hyugas and the Byakugan don't get enough love. That shirt is clean as fuck. I never saw this. Sold out in every size. I don't. Them shits were definitely dangerous. Metal Fusion is what I grew up on. I used to think the niggas had sauce. Yeah, see, when that Metal Fusion shit, when Metal Beyblades became a thing, I was far too old to care about Beyblade anymore. Yeah, it's not the same when a monster come out of the spinning top. Hell, I thought, even as a kid, I thought Yu-Gi-Oh wasn't shit in real life. Cause I'm like, man, the monsters ain't popping up my cards, and I ain't got no dual disc. So why the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Why would I want to play it? I mean, don't get me wrong, I still collect the cards and played it and liked it and shit. But like, even as a kid, I'm like, this shit really don't hit the same as the dude who was watching the anime, my nigga. Like, I cannot believe we live in a world, which I think almost says something that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about, but I can't believe we don't live in a world where we have like a really good VR Yu-Gi-Oh game where you put the headset on and you're battling the way that they do in the anime and shit. I need more anime like the Metal Saga, shown in anime when the toy is basically the power system and in the universe is treated very seriously as fucking gas. You know what I've been thinking about lately that I want when it comes to anime and manga? There's a lot of things I want, but lately I've been thinking about I want, and I think Solo Leveling kind of is this, to be honest. Even though Solo Leveling gets a lot of hate, I actually like Solo Leveling. So you know how we have series like Dragon Ball Z or what's another one? Or like even like Naruto, right? So okay. Let me pause so I can really concentrate. You know how we've all read or watched series, right? Where you're introduced to this world and there's a power system, whether that's like a power level or rankings in the society or anything like that, right? So in Dragon Ball, well, it's not until Z, but in Dragon Ball Z, we're introduced to power levels, right? And as the series goes on, you see Goku's power level go from like around 1,000 all the way up to like the millions, right? Like, oh, it's over 9,000. Oh, it's this, it's that. It's like 150,000, and then you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. Eventually, the numbers get so colossal that they become ridiculous, and the system gets thrown out altogether. After the Frieza saga, after the Namek saga, you never really hear power levels get discussed ever again, at least in terms of like actual numbers. Like there's data books and everything like that out there, and like in the fandom, yes, but in the actual series with it itself, you don't really hear power levels really get brought up ever again, except by Frieza in the fucking Resurrection F for some reason, even though he said a number that makes zero sense if you actually follow. But again, that's a whole other thing, right? So you have that, and it just kind of gets thrown out the window eventually. And then you have a series like Naruto, right, where there's not necessarily power levels, but you have rankings, right? So you have, like in Konoha, for example, I think this applies everywhere, but like you have academy students, Genin, Chunin, Special Jonin, Anbu, Kage, you know what I'm saying? And you have all the other things like Seven Ninja Swordsmen or Akatsuki, whatever other groups and shit, right? But like you have like an actual like structure in the society, like a ranking of like a hierarchy, right? Where the higher ranked you are, probably the stronger and more skilled you are. And for me in Naruto, it's always been very disappointing that we didn't actually use that more. I want a series out there where this world gets introduced, this power system gets explained, these rankings, whatever, and the characters that we follow actually genuinely go through that system and we see them like continue to progress. Like I want to witness that progression throughout this series, and it not just be a system that kind of gets discarded or is there in the background, because I think it would have been really cool to see like the slow grind of Naruto going from a Genin to a Chunin to a Jonin and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Or even if it wasn't necessarily him, because like we saw some other characters that like did, but not really, because like you have the time skip, right? You come back after 3 years, it's like, oh, by the way, like Shikamaru and Neji are Jonin and a few of them niggas is Chunin. It's like, okay, cool, I guess. I wanted to see the actual like system progress. You know what I mean? So like I want to see a series where it's like, oh, this it could be some generic battle shown and shit, whatever. Main character wants to be the strongest in the village, or he wants to be the new wizard king, or he's trying to be the grand champion, but whatever the fuck, right? And we see him go through every level. You know what I'm saying? Like we see him go through the ranks, and it's not a system that gets thrown out or like ignored or discarded halfway through the series. Like, no, you see this nigga like testing his might and having to battle niggas consistently throughout the whole series. Like the power levels just keep getting, and eventually he reaches like the max rank or the highest power level, or you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure the series are out there that like that exist, but I ain't read or watched one. Nigga came here talking about CJ Stroud. Yeah, that nigga put up a stinker. Although weird that in the Sand Saga, the less of what's power levels doesn't matter compared to training and techniques, just for them to ignore that in the next. Yeah. High key, I think the main reason why we don't see it is because the author takes that system that makes the lesson that the rankings doesn't matter compared to the skill and just have them beat people with higher ranks than him. So like I get that, right? Because it also kind of it makes the story more difficult to write, and it makes having actual like tension and everything like in the story more difficult, right? Because when you can just write it so that the character is like defies the odds, or like destiny doesn't matter, or like just because you're this ranking doesn't mean that I can't beat you if I work hard enough, or if I use this tactic or this strategy or whatever, right? But that's all the more reason why you make it like, to me, I think you could still make that work, right? Because here's the counter argument to like what I want, right? You would say, well, there'd be no stakes and it would be lame, because if our main character has a power level of 1,000, let's just use like easy numbers just to keep it simple and easy to follow. Let's just say the maximum power level in this series is 1,000,000, right? Our main character starts out at 100 or 1,000 or whatever, right? If his power level is 1,000 and he goes up against somebody who's 10,000, either one, he just has zero chance of winning and he shouldn't win, or two, he does win and it's complete bullshit. That's all the more reason why you have the main crux and focus of the series be him training, grinding, sparring, battling other people, learning these different techniques, and like increasing his powers. And then like he might have a fight where he's like 2,000 power below the nigga who's 10,000, but he needs to beat this 10,000 power level nigga in order to reach this rank, right? And it's like, well, he's probably gonna lose because he's 2,000, but that is where he implements a certain technique or whatever that just barely gives him the edge, and it's a hard fought battle. But then the way you continue to make it interesting as well is that like sometimes the nigga does just lose. You know what I mean? Like I would like for it to be like a system where it's like, okay, he has to pass this test or defeat this opponent in order to achieve this next rank, and sometimes he just loses. Like, but if you do that, that's how you make it so like you never actually know the outcome. Because like, yes, like he shouldn't win because like, oh, he's 5,000 power below this nigga. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. That would be dope. That would be fun to follow. It was like, oh shit, you never really know if the nigga gonna win or not. Like, yes, realistically, if he's like a level 10,000 and he's fighting a nigga who's 100,000, then like, yeah, he should just get his ass beat. And there should be a moment in said series where a nigga who is 100,000 is like, yeah, nigga, like you got a long fucking way to go trying to fuck with me. This ain't something you just gonna get through just through a few weeks of hard work. Like, nah, nigga, I've been working my whole life to get to this point. You got a lot of catching up to do. And he just like lets the nigga know, hey, it's levels to this shit. And he gets curb stomped by the nigga who's at 100K, and then he don't know the nigga 100K. He just think it's some random whatever. And he's like, wow, that he must be one of the strongest niggas in the entire universe. And you come to find out that nigga 100K, it's still several ranks above that nigga. It's really levels to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's not hard to write. Exactly, man. Exactly. I don't think that's asking for a lot. I also don't think that that's that difficult to like write. It was good, Afro. Yo, Parsival, thank you for the 60 months, homie. I greatly appreciate it.
Everything is ordinary.
I just learned about this first badge. I'm that nigga. The founder's badge? Nigga, you also stream. You never... Yeah, you him, twin. Twizzy, that's my dog.
Nothing amazing.
Yo, Big Ass,
here.
thank you for the 88 months, homie. I greatly appreciate it. Basically, you want strategy and intelligence. Oh, wait, yeah, I read that. So, yeah, like, I just don't think that that's asking for a lot. And I'm surprised that I haven't come across a series that's actually like that. Luffy actually goes to that. He becomes a regular pirate, to a supernova, to a Yonko, but no, it's not going to watch 1,000 episodes of One Piece. I mean, I'm reading through One Piece. One Piece doesn't quite hit on what exactly I'm saying, because One Piece doesn't have... The closest thing One Piece has to that is the bounty system, but the bounty system isn't necessarily indicative of a character's power level, even though some fans will try to like make it seem that... Relax, nigga. We'll try to make it seem that way. I want like an actual like system in place that tells us, hey, this is how it is. These are the levels to this shit. This is where we are. This is where we're trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? Was not paying attention. Don't spoil One Piece for him. I don't think anyone. Oh, I mean, I guess technically that is spoilers, but he didn't tell me anything I don't already know. I know, I know about the Yonko currently and Buggy is being a Yonko, except not really, and shit like that. It's just like just being in the community, and also there's certain YouTubers like I follow. They just be speaking on shit. Like it's a lot of stuff I'm aware of. Like I know eventually it gets to that point. Yo, Lotus, what's happening? Yo, what's good? No Motama. But yeah, I want to watch the second season of Solo Leveling because I only ever watched the first and it was pretty good, but I haven't watched more of it. Like niggas say it's just hype moments and aura. And it's funny because niggas pick and choose because there's other series that I also think are just hype moments and aura that aren't actually all that great. But like when they like it, it's like it's okay. But when it's the popular thing to like hate on it, then niggas hate on it. It is hype moments in the world. Yeah, but sometimes that's just what you want. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes a nigga just want a double hamburger and some french fries from McDonald's. You know, sometimes a nigga just want a 20 piece. Like maybe I don't want a ribeye right now. Like a nigga just want a cheeseburger and some fries. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like sometimes I just want to watch hype moments in aura. You know what I'm saying? I think it's okay to have some junk food every once in a while. You know what I mean? Sometimes a nigga want a cookie. Speaking of cookies and junk food and shit, y'all want to watch some food videos? I didn't really have a plan at all when I started up the stream, because I kind of was just chilling, and I was like, well, let me spoot up stream and start yapping to see what happens. But niggas could just hang out with me while I watch food videos. And also, I started a new game. I haven't really been playing video games at all lately, but I finally broke out the 3DS again, and I'm currently playing through Fire Emblem Fates Conquest. Is the game that I'm on right now. So I was like, yeah, what if I just were to sit here, chill, talk with chat, play some Fire Emblem, watch some food videos? You know, it could be chill, it could be fun. It would be so awesome. It would be so cool. That case is so fire. Thank you. I thought it was pretty dope. I picked this up off of Etsy, I want to say. I think it's pretty dope. You played Awakening already? Yeah, I played Awakening several months ago. Sometime, I feel like in the middle of last year, maybe. If you need someone to tell you something is good to enjoy something that's also lame, unfortunately, it feels like that's how the majority of the internet is, where they need someone else to tell them what their opinion on something is. Like, I enjoy watching reviews or like listening to the people who I follow talk about certain things and give their opinion as much as anybody else, but I'm not looking to someone else to form my opinion for me, right? So, like, and honestly, a lot of times I watch reviews for shit like I've already like consumed or did or played or watched, whatever. You know what I mean? So, because sometimes you just kind of want to hear what other people think about this thing that you also have opinions about. But yeah, it's so odd to me. Like people at times wait for everyone else to tell them how they should feel about something. I don't know. I've just never been that way. If I think something is cool, I think it's cool. If I think it's lame, I think it's lame. What anybody else says, that doesn't mean that my opinion can't change, because I also believe that it's perfectly normal. The internet will try to tell you otherwise. I think it's completely normal and within human nature for your opinion to change when presented with new information or perspective that you didn't previously consider. Like, it's okay to be influenced at times or be more informed and then change your opinion. Like, that is okay. But I will usually have my own opinion first, and sometimes somebody will say something and I'll go, oh, I didn't think about it that way. That's a good point. You know what? You kind of changed how I feel about this thing now. Like, that's normal. Like, that should happen more often than it probably does. But, you know. Do people really like that riveted shit from McDonald's? Riveted shit? I don't know what you're talking about. And yeah, it's a Pokedex themed 3DS. I've been thinking about getting into FE. I love Fire Emblem. I love watching reviews with the opposite viewpoint to see if I can understand it. I don't think too often I go out of my way to find opposing like viewpoints, but if I do come across it, like I don't immediately like turn away from it. You know what I'm saying? Because I do think at times it is interesting to hear the opposing viewpoint, because again, you might be presented with perspective or information that you previously didn't have or know or consider. And also, you know, especially if it's somebody that like you know or care about or whatever, like a streamer or a friend or whatever the case is, it could lead into, for one, an interesting and fun conversation, and also you could be able to convince each other one way or the other, or like, well, you should have thought about this way, or like, oh no, I actually don't think you're right about this thing because of this why, or maybe you forgot about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. How you feel about the discourse about the latest JJK episode? I don't follow Jujutsu Kaisen, so I don't know. Heard Awakening single-handedly saved the 3DS. It's a pretty good game. Wouldn't surprise me. But Masa, what's good, homie? I think sometimes people conform to the popular opinion so they don't get slandered online, especially when it's about an esteemed piece. The most annoying part about that is that I don't consider myself a contrarian. I swear that I'm not a contrarian, bro. I don't go out of my way to have an opinion that's different from everybody else's just for the sake of being different, because that's lame. You know what I'm saying? But in this day and age, if you do have an opinion that's not the popular opinion, you are immediately written off as a troll, engagement farmer, rage baiter, whatever the case may be. It could be about literally anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like, God forbid a nigga think for himself for once. For once. You know what I mean? Like, for example, okay, you guys know, a lot of you guys know, I've been watching more movies recently. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not really like a big film guy. Okay, there's many incredible films that I have never seen because I've just never been a big movie watcher. I have nothing against movies. It's just not something I've ever spent a lot of time doing, was watching movies. So a movie I recently watched that I've always heard great things about, that everybody loves, is Uncut Gems. I didn't like it. I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really care for it. I gave it like 2 stars, like 2.5 stars on Letterboxd. Not because I'm trying to be different, because there's other movies that everybody loves. Like, I saw The Dark Knight for the first time ever last month. I've never seen it. The Batman movies, I've never seen most of the Batman movies. I never saw The Dark Knight, you know, with Heath Ledger and shit. Thought that movie was fucking incredible. Thought Heath Ledger put on one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in my entire life. Love that movie. That shit was fire as fuck. It's as great as everyone had always told me it was. So like when I watched Uncut Gems and I didn't like it, I'm not trying to be different. I didn't like it. Like, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel about Sinners. All right, now you're drunk. No, I'm fucking with you. I mean, you are, but like, nah, but like, you know, teach them. It is crazy to me to not like Sinners, but it's also crazy to everybody else that I don't like Uncut Gems. So that's how I feel about FMAB. All right. Y'all gonna piss me off. I'm bullshit. But no, I feel you, because like sometimes there's just shit that's like incredibly popular and you're just like, it didn't move me. You know what I mean? Like, what is Uncut Gems about? Uncut Gems is an Adam Sandler movie where Adam Sandler plays this jeweler who essentially is like this kind of like sleazeball nigga who's just trying to make a come up in life. And how is the best way to describe this plot? If you've seen Marty Supreme, it's very similar to that, where he's a nigga who like, he has a goal in mind and an objective he's trying to achieve, and he'll like undercut niggas and do whatever it takes in order to like reach that goal and like achieve that dream. So he's like doing all this shit and like kind of like lying to people and trying to do little scams and make these like gambling bets and shit on like NBA games and stuff. It's trying to make this money and do all these things. And yeah, it's basically following his story of him like just trying to like win big and it just not working out. Like, it just, shit just keeps going wrong. So But take it easy, Marta. Thank you for stopping by, homie. My friends gassed up Gurren Lagann, and I was left disappointed. Hey, same. Everybody I know also loves Gurren Lagann, and it is. I have several friends who it is one of their favorite anime of all time, if not their favorite anime of all time, and I really don't care for it.
Nothing amazing happens here. Everything is ordinary.
I enjoyed after finishing it having that discussion of why I disliked it, not just being told, you know, you're dumb, you're wrong because that shit's corny. Yeah, I was never a big fan of it, so I feel you. But that's also the thing as well, is that like I think it is fun. It's so difficult nowadays to have those conversations, but I think it's actually very fun to have a conversation with somebody who has an opinion different from yours on something that you both watched or read or played or ate or whatever, and talk about what you do and don't like about it. Like that's what makes conversation like interesting and discussion and everything. But everything don't have to be like a heated argument or a flame war or like a debate. That's the other thing as well, is that like when I give my opinion on shit, especially like on Twitter, I guess you just have to know better at this point, like in this day and age. I'm not looking to debate. Like I don't give a fuck about what you thought. I was just saying what I thought. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a nigga literally just be tweeting like a fleeting thought I had in the moment, and it wasn't meant to turn into discussion. Like I just really don't give a fuck what most of y'all got to say about what I feel. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so this is a safe space. I hate Gurren Lagann. Okay, I don't hate Gurren Lagann, but I really did not care for it at all when I watched it. I will say Gurren Lagann is one of these small handful of series that like I kind of wanted to go back and rewatch someday to see if I feel differently about it. But when I watched it, I didn't really like it. Gurren Lagann is my shit, but I feel you because Fooly Cooly is kind of thug necktie. I'll kill you where you stand. That's where I draw the line. I thought Marty Supreme's a wholesome table tennis movie. Looking forward to watching it now. I ain't gonna say nothing. Go watch Marty Supreme, dog. Is good and depressing, Gurren Lagann? I don't think it's depressing at all. I guess there was like one stretch where it should be depressing, but I didn't really find it depressing personally. I had a question. Also, 777, thank you for the 14 months, homie. I greatly appreciate that. Do you feel like sometimes though someone doesn't like something because they like didn't get it? Sinners, for instance, I remember when it dropped, there were hella white people on TikTok saying it was mediocre. So here's the thing. There are genuinely instances, cases, and situations where somebody does not enjoy something simply because they did not understand it. Whether it's because they lacked certain context, they come from a background to where they found it unrelatable, or simply put, a lack of intelligence. That does exist. That does happen. I've seen it myself many times, as I'm sure we all have. The problem is, because that situation does exist, online especially, I feel like people are constantly accusatory of others of fitting that bill, even though that they do not. I've experienced this myself firsthand. I'm a nigga who does not really like J. Cole that much as a musician. Never have. You know what I'm saying? He's got some songs and some verses here or there. Like, I don't think the nigga's a horrible rapper. He can clearly rap. But most of his music I find very boring, uninteresting, and some of it just downright terrible. Like, I stand by KOD is a god fucking awful album. And For Your Eyes Only, or is it? Yeah, it's For Your Eyes Only, right? I also think that album sucks too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's never made good music, but I find a lot of it just whack. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I am somebody who was labeled at times by J. Cole fans as somebody who was just too unintelligent to appreciate his music. They're like, oh, it just requires a certain level of intelligence. Oh, you must not have gotten it, or you need to listen to it again, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nigga, first of all, you're in standard classes, I'm in AP classes. I got an A+ on my last test, you got a C-. We are not the same. You're the dumb nigga, not me. I take AP English, you're in standard. There's a reason for that. When we take standardized testing at the end of the year, I place well above the 90th percentile. You're placing middle of the pack, okay? If there's anyone here whose reading comprehension and ability to digest media and literacy is lacking, it's not me, okay? Between the two of us, I think we know. You know what I'm saying? Who's really? So that being said, so I'm like, I took personal offense when a nigga would tell me that like, oh, like I just didn't get it. I'm like, no, nigga, I got it on the first listen. Just because you're an idiot that had to play it back 3 times to get it doesn't mean that I am. I understood everything the nigga said the first time he said it, okay? It really wasn't that deep. But as I've said before, J. Cole's the type of nigga who makes music where very average or dumb niggas feel more intelligent for listening to it, because it's like, oh, like, whoa, wow, he really saying some shit, and it'd be the most basic surface level shit, you know what I'm saying, ever. Like, it's like oh, he's conscious rap for dumb niggas, and I've always said that he's conscious rap for dummies. And again, it's not even really necessarily about slandering J. Cole. It's just I fucking hate his fan base so goddamn much to this day. The reason why the whole certain level of intelligence thing to understand J. Cole shit became a meme is because it comes from a real place. Anyway, I say all that to say that like I've experienced that myself before, where it's like niggas will assume that because you don't like something, you didn't get it or you weren't smart enough to understand it. And I'm like, no, actually, I understood it perfectly fine. And now I dislike it even more because now you're a fucking dickhead, jackass, fucking arrogant ass. You know what I'm saying? Like you're the moron, not me. So now I dislike it even less because you're an asshole. Or I dislike it even more because you're an asshole. You were a dickhead about it. So now I want to hate it even more because you like it. I will say though, I try not to be that guy that immediately makes that assumption about other people. Where it's like, but that's all the more reason was like, I'm willing to have that conversation. Like we can discuss why you do or don't like something or what you thought was bad about it. And that discussion, that conversation is going to tell me whether or not you have a valid reason for not liking it, or if you genuinely did not understand it. Because a lot of times you will see like on Twitter, right? Let me think of like a recent example I saw. Oh, like niggas, sinners, like niggas saying that the scene where Preacher Boy is playing the music, and you know, like you start seeing shit through all different eras of music and all the dancing at the, you know, at the club that night at the party, whatever, right? Like that whole scene when the vampires first pull up and that's what attracts them and shit. There were niggas saying like that scene like took them out of the movie, or like it ruined it, or like it was out of place, and like all this shit. I'm like, oh, you actually did not get the movie at all. Like that, like if you were complaining about that scene or like a lot of the shit that I was saying on Twitter, I'm like, oh, okay, these niggas actually did not understand the movie or what they were watching, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if these niggas just thought it was just a regular like horror flick or what, but like you niggas didn't get it. Okay, cool, got it, right, understood. You just don't understand Grippy. Oh, I'm catching up on chat now. What I think about Kendrick, I think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest rappers of all time. He's not necessarily one of my all-time favorites, but I think he's one of the most skilled, talented musicians that we've seen in hip hop. Anything that takes a smidge of thought they think is so profound because they're not used to having to use their brain. I agree. It's especially like, it's something that I've endured a lot myself in particular as well, because some of my favorite artists and musicians are not very profound lyricists who require a great amount of thought to understand or enjoy, right? Like, y'all know me, one of my all-time favorite artists and somebody that I listen to a lot every single year is Lil Uzi. Lil Uzi's not no Kendrick Lamar. He's not Andre 3000. He's not Nas. He's not Black Thought. This nigga not Common or Mos Def. I get that. But like, the nigga music is fun. I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? No, now that being said, Andre 3000, for example, is another one of my all-time favorite artists. I do think he's one of the greatest rappers ever. I can appreciate both. Just because you enjoy X doesn't mean I dislike Y. You know what I'm saying? Pancakes and waffles. That's another thing as well. It's like, oh, nigga, you listen to Travis Scott Uzi, so like, it's no way that, you know what I'm saying? That's why you don't like J. Cole. Like, no, nigga. And the fact that you would even make that assumption and think that way just goes to show just like how very little you're capable of thinking beyond the surface level. Like, have I ever played Kingdom Hearts? Yes. Code Geass was another one where I watched the whole show and it's so disappointing. I give every anime I watch a genuine fair chance. My opinion is more validated. I love Code Geass, so you're on your own with that one, but I get it as well though, because Code Geass is a series that, like, if you've never watched it, it's always been hyped up and hailed as like this amazing masterpiece that's one of the greatest anime of all time, which to me it is. But with that level of hype to live up to, I can understand how anyone could go into it and come out disappointed. I noticed that particular sentiment from people who don't like hip hop movie critics who were like, "Oh, why is there a girl twerking there?" And it's like, "Oh, you actually lack media literacy." Yeah, and it's also just like, again, I don't like to be the first nigga to pull out this card immediately as well, but it's like some of it just be racism. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, these are just racial undertones from a nigga who just like doesn't care, doesn't know, or doesn't care to know or understand like black culture at all. It's like willfully ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be a genuine lack of media literacy or like being willfully ignorant and not understanding the scene because you don't want to understand it. You know what I'm saying? That's also a thing. Nah, I feel you. I don't know what people are arguing about. Sinners is definitely a horror film. Sinners is absolutely a horror film. Like, is it super scary? No, but it absolutely is under the horror genre. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is considered a horror movie. Again, but the thing about it is that, like, yes, it is a horror movie, but that's the thing, is that it's more than just that. It's not just your average run of the mill meant to be scary horror movie. That's the. Do you like psychological think pieces? Such as what? Like, we talking like, I don't know, like an Evangelion or some shit. Like, you mean just like an anime or music or movies or what? The movie has jump scares, whether they got you or not, is irrelevant to its genre. Yeah, I mean that. I don't think Sinners is a scary movie, like even a little bit. But like, if you, one of the genres you would categorize it in is absolutely a horror movie. As far as like psychological think pieces when it comes to movies, I honestly don't know if I've seen many movies that I would consider like think pieces, right? Like, because again, I'm not a film buff. I'm so far from a cinephile, so I don't really know. You guys got examples of like some movies you would consider that are like that, like a psychological kind of think piece kind of movie? Black Swan. Never seen Black Swan. Never seen Interstellar. Never seen Shutter Island. Fight Club. Never seen Fight Club. Does Inception count? Don't know, but I've never seen it. The Machinist. Never heard of that one. Lighthouse 2019. Never heard of that either. Perfect Blue. I know of that one. I haven't seen it. Have you seen Interstellar? Nope. Memento? Nope. Us, Get Out, The Matrix. Never seen any of those either. Okay, I've seen The Matrix, but like I've never like really sat down and really watched The Matrix. You never watch any of those, really? Nope. Tenet? Nope. What did you watch? I'm trying to tell y'all, most movies you could ever name, I have never seen. I guess that's the case for anybody, right? But like, even just like, if you make a list of the 100 most popular movies of all time, I probably haven't seen 94 of them. Like, I haven't seen very many movies in my life, man. I've never been a big movie guy. Seen The Godfather? I've never, like, yes, but no. I've never sat down and like watched The Godfather from start to finish. What movies are some you like? I mean, I've seen a lot of like black movies, right? So I've seen like all the Friday movies. I've seen like Training Day. I've seen White Men Can't Jump, fucking Biker Boys, a lot of the Tyler Perry shit, fucking Scarecrow, Gone Girl, never, nope. Goodfellas, nope. Like, you know, Love and Basketball, like a lot of the movies that are just popular like in black culture, you know what I'm saying? Like if the shit was on BET back in the day, or if your parents had the DVD of it, like I've probably seen some of that shit. That's really about it though. Some of my favorite movies include, there's like this really old horror movie from like the 80s called Christine. Yeah, I've seen ATL with T.I. and Big Boy. There's this old horror movie called Christine about this like possessed car that I really like. Honestly, Everything Everywhere All at Once and Sinners might be up there in some of my all-time favorites. All of the Makoto Shinkai anime films, with my favorite one probably being The Garden of Words. Have you seen the Why Did I Get Married movies? Yeah. Why Did I Get Married? I've also seen like that Jackson 5 like docu-series joint thing. Boys in the Hood, yes. I've seen most of like the black people movies. But as far as like pop culture shit, you know what I'm saying? The Best Man. That sounds really familiar. I've also seen Deliver Us from Eva, The Wood. You know, we definitely had this DVD, so I probably have seen this movie before, but I really couldn't tell you much about it. But fucking, this shit got, I see Morris Chestnut, Taye Diggs, Regina Hall, Terrence Howard. Like, I've definitely seen this movie, but like, you know what I'm saying? Think you had more of a physical collection of movies that would motivate you to go out and watch more movies? No, not really. A24 got so many movies coming out this year. Are you gonna see Michael when it comes out? I don't even know what Michael is. I've seen Air Bud. It's not a black movie at all, but got a Persona 3DS cover coming in. Hell yeah. Yeah, I've seen Joanna, man. My homie goes into the, I think he's in the WNBA, right? And he's fucking, you know, there's one scene in particular I always remember from that movie. I don't know why this one always stood out to me, but in Joanna Man, right? There's that scene where I think they're in the locker room or in a hotel room or something like that. And again, he's pretending to be a woman, and they start talking about men and dicks, basically. And the nigga he say some shit like, it's not about the size of the boat, it's about the motion of the ocean. And there's like an awkward pause, right? Because he's like, yeah, you know, it ain't got to be that big, right? And all the girls are like, and then one girl's like, I need the motherfucking Titanic. And they're like, yeah. Like, I always remember that scene in particular. Have you seen Bolt? I feel like I did, because like it's about the dog, right? Who like he plays a dog that has superpowers. But he's a movie star dog. He's not actually a dog with superpowers, but I don't think he knows that. Like, I feel like I watched that movie, but I don't know when, where, or why I would have watched that, because like I didn't see it in theaters, and I don't remember. I feel like I did watch that though, but because like, yeah, I'm telling you about it, right? So like I did see it, but I don't know who I watched that with or when or where. Yeah, I've seen Hustle and Flow. That was the first movie I ever saw Terrence Howard in. Whoop that trick, get him, whoop that trick. He had Ludacris in there as that one nigga. I think his name was like Skinny Black or something like that. Michael is a Michael Jackson biopic starring his. Oh yeah, I did see about that. I'll probably watch that. You have that one site that everyone logs their movies on and stuff? Yeah, Letterboxd. I made a Letterboxd account recently. You know it's hard out here for a pimp. You ain't no nigga. When you're trying to get this money for the rent, you ain't no nigga. For the Cadillacs and gas money spent, you ain't know. We have a whole lot of bitches jumping ship. Nigga was stapling motherfucking McDonald's drink cartons to the wall and shit to soundproof the room and turn it into a studio. Yo, Too Reckless, what's good, man? Yeah, that's another hood classic. The first movie I ever seen Terrence Howard in was Hustle and Flow. And I think the next movie I ever seen a nigga in was Get Rich or Die Trying. Seen all the barbershop stuff? Yeah. Which then also makes me think of Are We There Yet? Also Like Mike. Shit, what else? Get Rich or Die Trying is also a 50 Cent album, correct. Get Rich or Die Trying is a movie as well as an album, and both of them are fucking incredible. Johnson's Family Vacation, yeah, with Cedric the Entertainer and Bow Wow and shit. Johnson's Family Vacation, that's the one, right, where it's like the nigga Bow Wow, he's like, man, I don't want to go in so-and-so house because we're gonna have to go all the way over there. Then we're gonna have to come all the way back over here. Then we have to go all the way over there again. And the nigga lived around the fucking block. Nigga made it seem like they was gonna have to go state to state or some shit. They niggas drove like 2 blocks. Never met a white boy who didn't see 8 Mile. I mean, I've also seen 8 Mile, but 8 Mile is great. 8 Mile is a really good movie. Back to the Future. Back to the Future is another one of those movies where like I've seen it, but I ain't really sat down and watched it before. Avatar, I've never seen any of the Avatar movies, no. Movie called The Navigator? Nah. I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen Avatar, and I have zero interest in ever watching Avatar. I'm not saying I never will, but I have no desire to ever watch any of those movies. Here's why. They just don't look interesting to me. Like there's nothing about that stands out to me as something that I think I would like or want to watch. The literal only appeal whatsoever to those movies is the fact that they are so popular. So it's kind of one of those, well, why does everybody like this kind of thing? Like, let me see what all the fuss is about. But as far as just like the actual content of the movie, like there's nothing at all about those movies that appeals to me or interests me even a little bit. Like it just doesn't seem. I'm just like, I see it, I'm like, okay, who cares? I've also never heard anyone give a single reason as to why those movies are so good or why they like them outside of just like the way they look. But I think the movies look ugly as shit. So I'm like, well, if that's the only thing everybody likes about it, like, oh, it's just like really breathtaking and it's just like it's really pretty, but I think it looks ugly as fuck. Then I'm like, well, then what is there for me to enjoy about this? Hey, I know we don't fuck with J.K. Rowling, okay? It's big fuck J.K. Rowling, all right? It's big fuck J.K. Rowling, okay? However, it wasn't always fuck J.K. Rowling, okay? Back in the day, we didn't know no better. Nigga, them Harry Potter movies. I'm sorry. Cinema. Ever seen a Harry Potter movie? I mean, I fucking love those movies back in the day. I ain't gonna hold you. I think every single one of them is great still. I loved those books as a kid and I love the movies too. Harry Potter had the whole world in a chokehold once upon a time. Never watched Lord of the Rings. Seen bits and pieces before. I always thought it was pretty boring. Did you read the Percy Jackson joints growing up? Yeah. I read so they kept making books after I stopped keeping up with the series behind. Let me I'll tell you the ones that I read. So I read, can I see this picture like bigger? I just want to see this picture bigger, bro. Like, why are they making this so difficult? I hate the way Google Images is now, man. Back in my day. Okay, I read The Lightning Thief. I read Sea of Monsters. I read Titan's Curse. I read Battle of the Labyrinth. And I think I read The Last Olympian. And that might have been it. I think there's like way more books in that series at this point, right? I don't know how many more there are. But I don't know though, because The Lost Hero sounds really familiar too. I know for a fact I read those first 4. I think I also read The Last Olympian. Wait, what's this one? There's something in between those. There's like at least 10 to 15 more books. Yeah, I think I read the OG5 and that might have been it. Why can't I find just like a big picture of all of these books, like all together, like the entire series? You know what? Whatever. Let me just go to like Wikipedia and just see the list. Lightning Thief, Sea of Monsters, Titan's Curse, Battle of the Labyrinth, Last Olympian. Hey, I think that was it. Oh, wait, what the fuck? See, I just want a list of every single book in release order. Why is that so hard to find? I'm gonna just say I stopped after The Last Olympian. I think that's the last one I ever read. The Camp Half-Blood series. I don't remember a ton about those books. I know I read them and I liked them back then. Camp Half-Blood, that's just like an actual place like in the book, right? They made like a whole like spin-off series about that, or you'll take it easy, Squire. Are we still gonna watch cooking videos? We could watch some food videos. They weren't cooking videos, they were just like a nigga eating and shit, but it's called the franchise that now? Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like I could go back and read those books and still really enjoy them. Rick Riordan didn't turn out to be problematic or nothing, right? Like it's still okay to like his shit. What did J.K. Rowling do? What didn't J.K. Rowling do? See, some of these titles still sound very familiar, but maybe just because like the phrases and words and themes and shit are just like so like intertwined and shit. Cause like I feel like I read Mark of Athena, but there's no way I did because that shit came out in 2012. But maybe I just remember hearing about Athena so much, like in some of the other books. I don't even remember the names of most of the characters. I think there's a girl named Zoe Nightshade, right? I think that was Shorty's name. And then you have like, yeah, so you have Percy, you have Zoe. They had a homie that was like a centaur or some shit. He was like half goat or something. Any anime you've been watching lately? Grover, there you go. Been watching Dragon Ball GT with Eunice. That's pretty much it. Riordan is actually getting flack for being too progressive because he cast a black girl to play Annabeth. Go, 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 go. All right, looks like the Lakers are going to beat the Raptors, but like I'm not moved by this win. We're supposed to beat them. Like, hey, 25 points from DeAndre Ayton tonight. 25 points, 13 boards, 10 for 10 from the floor, 5 or 6 from the free throw line. Okay. I don't know if this is a hot take, but GT got the best ending of any Dragon Ball series. No, I agree. I think most people actually agree with that. Even the people who hate GT, most of them acknowledge that the ending is good. Don't say nothing about it though, because Eunice doesn't know the ending. And she's lurking in here. Anyway, y'all want to chill and watch some videos?